So like for last 2 sessions, we have been going through covering the basics of the LODs, level of detail expressions, and their functions, so how they act when filters are involved, and this kind of stuff. Today, what we'll do is we'll go through some of the practical use cases for where we can, where we'll need or where we'll use LOD. So these are like ones that are we frequently use while building dashboards or some of the issues that we face while working on projects or something where we can use LODs to solve them. So we will cover few of these in this session today, and we'll cover the rest of them in the upcoming. Okay. Let me start. So the first one, so here we have 20 use cases. We'll start with the first one. So here LODs, we can use them to deal with the duplicate records. For some reason, I assume that when joining two data sources, or it's quite probable that you end up having the duplicate records in the data source at which the tablet is connected. So, but duplicate records means your values actually double up. So if a record is duplicated twice, then that means the sales value that particular value record will be double. So you need your charts will be showing wrong values. In order to get the right values, what you can do is you can use LODs to get there. So let me. So here we have what I did here. What we have in this workbook here was, so for each row, this is the sample superstore data. This is the sample superstore data, and in each row we have a row ID which identifies that particular row. And we have just unioned again with the same data set. So thereby we getting every row a double. Okay, so what we are getting here was actually the row ID 1. In row 1, the sales value is only 262, but since we have doubled it twice, the value is double like this for all the rows. And we need to get this one. Sometimes you want the data to be duplicated, you have nothing to do on that. So, but in order to get the right value, which is 262 from 524, you can use LODs. How is that? So we have a calculated field here, which basically gives you is the font size okay. So basically, I need to get the row identifier, which basically tells me on what level my duplication is at. So at row ID, my duplication is at. So what I can do is basically for every row, give me max, some sort of aggregation. It need not be max. It can be anything. Even if you change it to minimum, it has to be maximum or minimum. If you do sum, then it will give you the same result. If you take average, I think average will also work because average will also work. So yeah, given some sort of aggregation here, you will get the 262 value. So basically, it will take 2 records from this row ID, and you will generate the unique sales value, and you can use this in your visualization. So that is use case number 1. And if I go back to next use case, so yeah, this is second use case is basically let me pull up the 11. If you see, this is one of the dashboards that we built for SAM's project, and if you see these numbers over here, we call them BANs, bands, and big numbers. So these aggregate numbers can be generated using LOD calculations. Okay, let me show how. So we get a single aggregate value. Okay. For example, here I have a sheet, and for each row ID, it's giving me sales. Now, what I want here is basically to get the maximum customer sales. Okay, so I can basically, my aggregation can be anything. I can get maybe give me the sales for particular region, only particular region. I can maybe have a region as a filter, and when I select a particular region, I should get the region sales for that only. So the aggregation can work in any way that you want. But here the case that we take it was basically we are getting the maximum customer sales. For each customer we are looking basically the sales, and we are getting maximum customer sales, and we are comparing it with everyone else. Yes. So this particular value is the maximum sales across all the sales values. So that means in the entire database, this is the sales value per particular row, which is maximum that is recorded. So we are basically comparing it with. We can use. I have just in the view I've put the row ID as my level of detail. That's why it's duplicated everywhere. But if I just create a simple view and drag this field alone, then my BAN will be produced, which I can use it in a dashboard. So let's just see. It's a simple LOD calculation, which we already covered in the last. It's basically, it's just finding out the maximum sales value in the entire database, and it's recommended. So I can open a new sheet and pull these things here and edit it likewise to get my BAN, whatever the formatting that I want. And I can place this sheet in my summary value. So this aggregate here, we can choose whatever the based on the requirement, I can change the aggregate. Okay, let's move on to the next value, which is isolate. Now think of a use case here like this. In the last example 2, we got an aggregate value of the entire database. What if you want something like this? I have all these things for each of the customer names. Give me the latest order on which latest date on which he made a purchase, on which he ordered a product. But only for that when that order belongs to technology. That means give me the maximum order date for each customer from the technology category. Okay, so if you can see here, he has only one date, so we get that. And here if you have 2 dates, and this 2071 is the maximum one, and that is replicated for all the for that particular customer. We can achieve. So this is called a selected aggregate. We can achieve this using LOD, and as well as a simple clubbing the LODs with the condition statements that we have, that we already know. And in Tableau, we have 2 types of condition statements. Basically, they work the same, but the syntax is different. This is the normal condition statement, but if you are more interested in the if from the Excel kind of thing, we have Tableau support. So what we did here was simply for each customer, we will fix this thing, because I want my date at that level. So I want my calculation to be performed at that level. So I will fix this one first of all, and then I should get my maximum date. So my aggregation should be maximum. Then where I should get my maximum date? Only when my maximum dates from the technology category, not from the other categories. So this basically creates this new column, and we are passing that new column into this statement. So what is this new column? If a category belongs to technology, then give me order, else don't do anything. So at the database level, it will it will create a date column from the dates of where the order belongs to technology category, thereby giving us only the maximum date from the technology group. And since it's already fixed clubbed with LOD, it will give us the calculation for every customer, and thereby we are getting this. Let me open the other. Yeah, this is also same logic, but just listen back to the Excel one. This particular condition will give you the Excel kind of condition. Please, if you have any questions in any example, just stop me. So next we'll move on to other use case. Most of you know that when we have a multiple charts in a single sheet, something like this. Okay, we are comparing basically the sales across time across in each different regions as a separate chart. Now assume that we don't know that the sales in all of these things will be like at a similar range, that the charts will make sense. When by default what happens is that automatically fixes the axis range. So let's say here in this particular example, if you see here we have maximum of 32,000 or 33,000. Okay, Tableau will automatically, what it will do is it will put the maximum of 30,000, 33,000. So the scales will be different by default. But what we can do, we can use LODs, and when scales are different, the information that is conveyed using the lens, whatever that information is misled. Okay, we can have a similar sized chart, but the scale here which is going to 100,000, whereas in the other chart scale going only to 40,000. But the lens looks similar, but the numbers are completely different. That is visually misleading charts. So in order to avoid those kind of situations, we can use something LODs there as well to actually fix these charts axis. So how do we do that? The problem to do there is, let me actually go to that sheet. I can edit this axis and also things to if you see here, I have my option of fixed option. Okay, I can give certain value here, but what happens if I do that key? It will not be changing dynamically when my sales values goes up. Okay, if my sales value, let's say I gave 50,000 here, assuming that all my values are under 50,000 at this point in time. But if when it costs 50,000, I'll be losing those data points in my charts. Then again I have to come back here and again change. So it's a maintenance involved in that process. So what we can do here is we can create a LOD, something like regeneration cases. So what I did here was, for every, since I need, my goal here is to find out dynamically what is the maximum sales value on a particular, since my chart is at a month level, you can see the x-axis. I need to find out for every region, for every month, what is the maximum value. If I can find that value, and I will use one of the tricks that I saw in here. I will basically extract that value as a separate column, and I will use that to fix this axis. So whenever my sales goes up, my axis gets fixed automatically dynamically. So what I did here was, for every region, okay, for every month in a year, get me sum of sales. So basically it will give me a table for every region in a month of a year, the sales aggregated to that level. Okay, now I got this value. Now what I'll do is, I need to find the maximum of those values. Right? So what I do here is I'll use my pixel, okay, and I pass the created regional month sales value, and I will get the maximum value for that. Now I have my maximum values at a month level for all the regions stored in this particular field. Now what I'll do is for every chart I'll create a reference line. Okay, you can see here because of the formatting we made it invisible, but yeah, this is what it's helping us to fix the axis for all the charts. If you see here, my maximum regional sales value, I use that to create this line chart, and I use the same thing for all the charts here. Here also we have a line which is at the same value. Here also we have a line. So because of this line, what Tableau does is, hey, I need to accommodate this line, so I'll have to extend, irrespective of my sales needs, I'll have to extend my axis up until here. So whenever my sales goes at let's say 1 lakh, 100,000 or something, my reference line will always be there. You can see my maximum sales across is at this point across all regions. That's why my reference line is pointing out this particular value. Is this clear?
So basically what we are doing is we are taking the largest value, yes, and we are plotting that on the chart with the reference line, so that becomes the maximum plot for all of them, and so the highest number gets plotted, right? So it is all starting with 0, so the minimum sort of remains the same, but we are just fixing the maximum. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we go to the next use case. Something like this. We have a timeline, something maybe a sales or across my timelines, and I need to show my minimum value and maximum value as well. This we can very easily do, and just on the side note, all these techniques can be done using many other ways as well. But these are some of the ways that you can use LOD cycles. So in order to get these maximum and minimum labels, what we can do is if we go to this label, we have the option to select minimum and maximum. Okay, if you select minimum and maximum, it will show this result topic. But assume that you have multiple lines of the same chart, just like this line, or 2-3 lines of the same axis. In that case, you only want to show timelines for the minimum and maximum timeline. Okay. If you have multiple lines, this option will give you minimum maximum for all the lines, okay? Or at least, if not all the lines, an entire dashboard, all the 3 lines combined together. But if you're interested in only showing 1 line minimum and maximum values, then you can use LODs to achieve that. So this is, let me break it down. What we have here is a simple dual axis. Remove the dual axis. What you can see here is on the above I have a simple line chart, and on the below I have 2 points. So what I have, let me show what these points are. So I need to find out my minimum value first and maximum value. Just like in the previous example, how we found maximum value. Let me this is maximum value. What I'll do is, for the entire dashboard, let me tell you, this is a nested LOD. Okay, we have one LOD inside of the other. This is these are for nested LOD. So since I'm on month level time scale, what I'll do is basically I'll create for every month, give me sum of sales. Okay, for every month, give me sum of sales. This fixed expression, inside fixed expression will generate a certain table. From this table, give me the maximum value, okay, for entire table. So it will only have one value. It will be a table, but it will only contain one value. Okay, similarly, I will generate my minimum value. Okay, I will generate my minimum value. Now I have minimum or maximum sales. now I'll create a measure using these two values. Okay, this is just a simple condition adding if my sum of sales.
So Jagdish, sorry. So what is that? What did that nested LOD do?
Okay, let me do that. Here, this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So think of this. First of all, this highlighted LOD expression will generate. The inside LOD expression, what it does is it basically generates a table for every month, okay, on the x-axis, and it will get me the sum of sales. So on this month, it's basically
okay. Your voice was patchy. I didn't hear that, Jagdish.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm able to hear. Yeah.
Okay. So the inside fixed expression, what it does is basically for every month in the database, it will give me aggregated sales at that month level. Okay. Think of it as a table. January 2016, these are the sales. January 2019, these are the sales.
Okay, cool.
Now we are conducting another outer fixed expression on that table. Okay. On that table, what we are doing is, hey, get me the minimum value in that table.
Okay. Here, it actually doesn't really talk about the whatever parameter on which it needs to be done, right? Because it's anyway fixed already in the inside LOD, is it?
No.
Did I get it right, or am I missing something?
So normally when we are not mentioning the parameter, what it means is basically it looks in the entire database level. The parameter that we give, the parameter that we give here is only to mention, hey, you need to do this calculation for every that level. Since we have mentioned parameter month here, what it does is, hey, you need to perform this calculation for every month. Okay, but here we didn't mention any parameter, so what it does is, okay, I only need to perform this calculation only once on the entire database. That's it. So that's what Tableau will understand, and it will give me the minimum value in the inside table that it got generated.
Oh, got it. Understood. Okay, clear. Okay.
And likewise, we get the maximum value. Now we create a column using these two column values. So if sum of sales is equal to minimum of minimum value, this aggregation is just to avoid the error. It's not required actually. So this minimum value will be a single value which is duplicated across all the rows, and we are just taking the minimum. We can give maximum or average, it doesn't affect it, just for the aggregation sake we use that. And likewise we use maximum, so basically we get using this condition, we get these two lines in a single measure, and we use that measure. So here, if I remove it, the what will be on. So these 2 points are given by these two LODs, and I'll just dual access them. So I can see this. I can do this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think we have time for one more use case, and we'll close it then. And I'll open for questions. Okay, let me explain this. Okay, so here we have basically a sheet which explains us, hey, for at a level of customer name, for each customer, we want to see his sales, and we also have a parameter here. Okay, we want to see, let's say, and this is the whatever the customer that we have selected here would be our selected customer, and we want to compare all the sales of other customers with the selected customer that we have. And let's go to sheet. How we do? Let's say if I have, who is my first guy? Aaron. If I do that, yeah, my comparisons change likewise. So this also we can achieve using LOD expressions. What we did here was selected customer sales. We just created a parameter using selected customer number 1. It directly takes from the field of customer name. Okay, all the values will be here, and we need to perform a LOD calculation at the customer level. So I have here so a simple fixed expression. So clubbed with a condition. What it does basically is, if my this particular first column, I can simply drag sum of sales and I'll get it here. Now based on my selection, I need to get a second column from which I can compare, do the difference and get this variance value. So I need to get this value. How do I get this value is simply like this. So this inside if statement is generating another column which we didn't save it here, but in order to perform this calculation, Tableau will generate it that column, and on that column this fixed expression is working. So what it's doing here is, if my customer name is equal to selected customer name, which is my parameter, okay, then give me his sales. So for each row it will check if the customer name is my parameter which is selected, and then only if it is true, then it will duplicate the sales value for that particular row. Thereby we get, when we summarize that column using this aggregation, it will only get the sales for the selected customer. Thereby we are getting this particular column, and then we are simply subtracting this column and this column to get the variance. Yeah, again a simple LOD expression. This is some of the one of the use cases. We can achieve this, the third column maybe using table calculations as well, but yeah, multiple ways. And since we are on LODs, we are talking the use cases in this. Okay, I think it's already 9:40. We'll close it here. If you have any questions, we'll take them, and we'll, in the upcoming sessions, what we'll do is we'll continue with the rest of the examples.
So Jagadish, in that case, basically what it's doing is it gives the sum for the selected customer, and because you dragged it onto that column, it just replicates that for all of the customers, right?
Correct.
Is that what's happening?
Yes.
The same number. Okay.
Yeah.
And the variance is basically
this minus this.
What's the? Can you just show the variance?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Just can you just show that formula once? What's there in variance? Yeah. Formula.
Variance to select first.
What?
Yeah.
That's a simple. Okay. Max of the selected customer. Okay.
This is just for
minus sum of sales.
Yeah. This is just for aggregation level.
Just to avoid the error.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Understood. Okay. Clear.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to close now. If you have any questions, you can take them.
Jagadish?
Yeah.
How you change that formatting? Like if you have a negative value, then you're using parentheses to show that.
That we can do here. So just click the measure format and go here and
custom.
Not custom. Yeah, here. Yeah. So here, how you want to show negative values? You want to show like this or like this or like this? Well, right now they are like that. So if I change it here, and I go like this. Okay.